GoreCast is brought to you by American Horrors, the greatest uncut horror channel in the world. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all horror. As well as the Station of Decapitation Without Your Head,
America's longest running horror channel, www.withoutyourhead.com.
The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
What's up, everybody out in the YouTube universe watching us with your eyeballs? It's Tuesday, and that means it's original versus remake. And that means I'm Buzz. That means the guy sitting next to me that way, I think. That's Carter. He's here. So, Monsieur Carter is the French.
Oh, there you go.
I think that's French. I don't know. I can't even speak English, so I shouldn't even attempt to try another language. So, greetings all. How is everybody doing tonight?
So far, everybody seems to be doing pretty good.
I can. Oh, damn it! Bill
We got
this
Katie.
Wednesday.
So we got Katie, Bill is in there, so they're watching to see what we do next.
The usual bunch. Tonight we are doing Let Me In / Let the Right One In, which was the other way around if you want to go original versus remake, because the Right One In was the original, Let Me In's the remake. It's kind of confusing if you don't know, but hopefully that helped. That's my first lesson of the evening. It's Tuesday. I think Bill's just being a naughty little boy.
But it's like it's Wednesday in some places.
Also, it might be Wednesday for some of the people watching because of time differences. So it might be Wednesday where Bill's at. So I take back. You are not what I said you were. You are a upstanding citizen of the earth.
But just a heads up. You gave Johnny quite the fear there.
Yeah, Johnny was like, yeah, I'm sure most of you probably know, but Johnny pretty much works on American time, so he was like, wait, it's Tuesday, right? So, but all that, yeah, in Johnny Land, it's Tuesday. It's kind of like Zombie Land, but more confusing. But with all that, what day it is nonsense out of the way, we're gonna go right into news bits, just with energy and enthusiasm and throwing your arms to make a point. News bits. Huh?
I said I'll let you have all the enthusiasm.
Okay. I had a Coke Zero, which does nothing for me with energy, so I don't know why I mentioned it. But I'm full of energy for some reason. Maybe because of reasons. The first news bit is a new film that's going to be coming out called The Doorman, even though it's about a woman. But we don't stereotype here. Men, women, you can do men, women things. You can be a woman and be a doorman. I don't know. It would be weird to be called a doorwoman. So, but yeah, nonetheless. It's actually a film that is directed by the dude who did Midnight Meat Train. I was going to try to say his name. Right. There we go. Raihihi Kitamura. We'll say I succeeded there. It is a film that is being described as punishing and action-thrilled. Not action-packed, action-thrilled. Ruby Rose plays a former Marine turned doorman at a luxury New York City high-rise who must outsmart and battle a group of art thieves and their leader while struggling to protect her sister's family. As the thieves become increasingly desperate and violent, the doorman calls upon her deadly fighting skills to end the showdown. starring Ruby Rose and Jean Reno as the boss that it was mentioned.
I can't say it sounds entertaining, but
it doesn't.
But like
I can't
Ruby
say
Rose,
it sounds entertaining because it doesn't sound entertaining.
but
it sounds like Roadhouse.
But like I mean, like I've seen her in quite a bit of stuff, and she can own like the action scene, dude. I mean, she is a badass. It just this movie sounds boring as fuck, though.
Yeah, I don't know who she is, so I can't pinpoint.
Did you ever see John Wick 2? What the fuck do you do in your free time? I can't tell if that makes you look bad or me.
Put in the chat what your answer is. Did I see John Wick 2? Let's see what the chat says.
I mean, like, dude, Jesus.
I watch movies for the show. Watch movies for the show, and then I have little childrens that need my attention. I'm sorry.
They get to sleep eventually. I mean, like, maybe you sleep normal. I don't. So
I'm up watching opposite. Like when they're sleeping, I'm sleeping. So there's no I'm asleep, they're asleep time where it's
all right. Well,
I did not see John Wick 2 to answer the questions.
All right, well, you know what? If you wait a couple, you can just like watch the franchise back to back. So like she's a badass when it comes to like the action shit. She actually even did a season 1 of Batwoman.
Yes, Bill's correct. I need my children to watch the films and give me the summaries. That's knowing my son. Yes, he would do that. So this film is going to be hitting digital and on demand on my birthday, October 13th, which is on a Tuesday. So as of the great endorsement that Carter and I are giving, we really have high hopes on this film.
I mean, dude, I'll watch it because, like I said, she's a badass. But I'm not expecting a whole lot of shit out of the movie, though.
Yeah. But if you are interested in watching this motion picture, like I said, it comes out on digital and on demand October 13th. Second news story. What's that?
It was an action what? Action
thrilled. It's punishing. It's described as punishing and action thrilled.
Oh,
that doesn't even seem like a complete sentence or a coherent sentence.
Like somebody was like, "I can't give this a whole bunch of fucking props." It's action thrilled. Fuck it.
We're just gonna be words together, and we'll see what catches. Action thrilled. I don't know how that works. But next story. Move on to maybe happier news if you're a fan of American Horror Story. Then it is happy news because the new season. Creator Ryan Murphy has said that filming for the new season of American Horror Story starts this October. So we will definitely be getting a new season of American Horror Story, but not until 2021 because of stupid.
Yeah, that's really thrown off a lot of shit. Like a lot of places are just now getting back to filming and shit like that.
It seems like a lot of like the stuff that's been halted the last few months are all starting to because I know Stranger Things, I think season 4 kind of started shooting within the last month or so.
Right.
So we should be getting a lot of these stuff that probably should have been out by now or getting close to being out. We should be getting a lot of that coming into 2021. 2021 sounds like it's going to be a crazy year for film and TV because, well, hopefully, that virus is crazy. Hopefully, all the stuff that was supposed to come out, you think it's maybe Tuesday. You don't know what day it is, so yes, I'm going to lean towards you're crazy. For you who don't know, I'm not arguing, but I'm talking to our non-herd producer, so I'm having a one-sided conversation to your eyes. But going back to the American Horror Story, it sounds like we're going to be dealing with aquatic horrors for this season of American Horror Story, possibly mermaids. And Carter's excited. That's his excited noise.
I mean, like,
You'll watch it because,
dude, man, I can't even guarantee that because, like, I really dug American Horror Story, but the fuck was that one? It was the circus one, Carnival Freak Show. I think I got like 3 episodes in there, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm done," and
that's
never finished it.
That's that. Like, that's
then, like, I picked up that's the only season so far that I could not finish. I've had a few where I was still kind of like, this kind of sucks, but I can still finish it.
That's the only season that actually intrigued me out of all of them. I watched a few episodes, but that's the only one that I watched. I wouldn't say beginning to end, but I watched at least from the first episode till I fucking gave up on it. Was one of the more recent ones in the last couple of years. Was it Apocalypse?
Oh,
something where it was.
Yeah, that's.
Last. Oh, I hated that. I hated that show or that season. That season, I was like, because everybody was talking about it. I'm like, you know what? It's starting. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to watch it. I think I watched the worst one to watch because I was like, it literally turned me off.
I don't know. Because like Johnny's even kind of mentioned it. Like, Witches was not one of my favorites. I mean, like, it's definitely a kind of a hit and a miss. Like, I dug The Hotel. That was probably one of my fucking favorites. But
like a bird, caca.
And I don't remember what the last one was called.
That one looked like it had promise because that was like the slasher kind of vibe.
Yeah, kind of 80s slasher, and it was fun to watch.
Story.
So, like, that was definitely not one of their worst ones. I had fun watching it and shit. Mermaids.
Mermaids. They can do things. I don't know what. Anytime I think of mermaids, the first thing that pops up is Little Mermaid and the song that she sings.
Sadly, same here, dude. Like, maybe that's what my problem is. I'm all like, mermaids. Little Mermaid.
Yeah. There'll be some kind of dance number and some stupid fish swimming around talking. Stupid crab. Okay, well, that was us trashing Little Mermaid, so I didn't see us going down that avenue. But you know what? It's the GoreCast Unplugged. We go to all avenues. It sounds like all of the usuals will be in the upcoming season, including new cast member Macaulay Culkin. Ah! That's my.
I am kind of curious about him, but it's weird because I keep hearing Jessica Lange on and off again. Like, she's quitting, she's not quitting.
They listed everybody, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm not writing all these names down. I'll just write."
It's just like I had heard like a while back she's getting kind of tired or some shit, and I don't blame her. But
sorry, Bill said that Macaulay Culkin's 40 now, and that's
weird. But yeah,
so and I'm not as old as him, but it still makes me feel old.
Oh yeah,
I'm about 5 years younger, so. But yeah, that's American Horror Story. So should be probably, I'm assuming, on par for about September because it seems like around the time they normally release it every year, close to the spooky season. So I would assume that's when we're gonna get it. And the final news, guys, it finally came out last weekend, guys. One of the running bits of, at least with me, New Mutants. It finally came out, and it did not do really well.
Okay, I heard that. I heard, what was it, like 7 million?
7 million. It did 7 million in the opening weekend and a global box office of 2.9 mil, for a total of $9.9 million on the opening weekend.
Oh, maybe nobody knew it was coming out. Like they all just thought it was like
they probably just assumed it was a joke. Yeah, every time they go to the theater, it's a big April Fool's thing was going to come out and kick you in the nuts. Like, haha, we got you, fuckers. You thought it was coming out. We even got you to the theaters. Stupid idiots.
Wow. I am surprised, though. That's fucked. Wow.
It's not surprising in a way, though, because reading a little bit more into the article, because not, like I was telling you guys, not all states' theaters are open. Right. Theaters aren't open in my state, so I can't go and see it if I wanted to see it in theater. So they were saying that all the states theaters were open, that number should have been doubled to about 14 million, which still isn't the greatest.
Yeah, still that's just kind of assuming wishful thinking. Like I should have been taller, but
but I'm a vanilla midget or gorilla midget,
right? Which I am kind of curious though, because I was getting tired of fucking waiting for it. So I just kind of wonder how many people were like, fuck it. I'll hit it when it's on Redbox or something.
I was gonna say I'm gonna see it eventually because it's still, regardless of all the crap that's been going on, it's still an intriguing premise. So I still want to see it. But I'm not going to pay for it. And so I'm not going to add to their.
I felt like I paid for it enough by waiting for the fucker.
Yeah, I paid enough of anguish, and they're saying that their main goal is mainly with this movie is mainly just to make back what they put in like promotion. Like they're looking to make the budget of the film back. They're like, if we can make back what we put in promotion, which is probably a lot of money because they tried to failed to promote this thing like 4 fucking times.
Oh yeah,
so I'm pretty sure each time it failed, they had to re-put money. So I'm pretty sure that in promotion, it's probably almost a Hollywood budget film just in promotion because it's been pushed back like 18 times. So
now, do you know if it was just theater release or did they also try to do that?
I don't know if they, from what I was reading the article, I don't know if it said if it was a combination of theater and VOD or something. It just said what it made. It didn't. I don't think it went in and broke down like this much. Was from theaters. This much was from VOD. It just said 7 million. So I don't know if that's just strictly theater. It might strictly be theater money because, like, I mean, I don't know if they fully. I'm pretty sure they do like show what they do like on VOD and stuff. But normally when they release stuff, it's normally. But because of times, theaters and stuff aren't open everywhere. So
I think dude, Bill was saying that the New Mutants group looked like the latest incarnation of the Power Rangers.
Probably, and the funny thing is they're probably like 10 years older than they were because probably when they started filming that movie and how long it's been pushed back, they were probably because it's got the dude from Stranger Things in it as well. The guy who plays I can't remember the names for some reason. The brother of Will, I think. The guy who plays him.
Gotcha.
It's Will. Yeah, Will. Yeah. So one of the kind of main characters.
And Giz pointed out New Mutants won't make anything until it goes digital. The film's been sabotaged from the start.
It's not gonna, like I said, it's like that's why they're saying like it's not gonna make nowhere near its actual budget back, but they're at least looking to make hopefully what they put in promoting it, which, like I said, multiple failed promotions. I'm pretty sure that's in the multi-million dollars.
So. Dude, and that's just sad when that's like your fucking end goal.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I think I was reading the article and it was like Disney finally gets the New Mutant thing off their hands and like it's out there. Fuck it. Like they're done with it. They wash their hands of it now. It's out. They don't have to deal with it anymore. So, but unfortunately, we still do because of reasons. So, ready to get into the film?
Yeah.
Films with an S. We are going to be looking, like I said, at Let the Right One In, which was released in 2008, followed by the remake / American adaptation, or whatever you want to call it, which was released in 2010, which you don't really see like movies like come out.
Yeah.
Like that was even with it being, if you want to say it's a adaptation and not a full on remake, it's still only 2 years apart. That was seemed kind of quick. Or just looking at the chat. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, I was looking something up. I actually got sidetracked.
Okay. I'll go ahead and get started here then for Let the Right One In, which is a Swedish film, I believe.
It is
Swedish. That's my voice of confidence.
Swedish film, I believe. Your confidence was correct.
Yes. And I can't say I didn't see it because I watched it, so it doesn't stand for my knowing shit about things I haven't seen. So this film follows Oscar, a meek 12-year-old boy who lives with his mother in Stockholm. He is regularly bullied, and he normally, I don't know why I wrote normally, and for some reason I separated nor and mully. I thought they were two separate words. Okay, I know none of my teachers are watching this because why would they? But I apologize to any teachers that taught me things in school. If you had to read any of my like homework and tests, I sincerely apologize. I thought I did a good job this week. I actually got a TV tray out. I sat the paper on. I wrote on it as opposed to like having it on my knee or just holding it up. So I'm like, okay, it's kind of scribbly, but I tried this time and it's still hard to read. So he normally spends his night imagining getting revenge on his bullies. He's stabbing trees and telling trees he's going to kill him because he's getting bullied too much. One night he meets Ellie, a girl who recently moved in to the apartment next to him. The two begin to form a relationship, spending nights using Morse code to communicate. Don't see a lot of people using Morse code in the late 2000s.
Yeah, no shit, dude. Like that kind of surprised me.
I mean, actually, not really in the 2000s. Like, probably not since like 1950s. Probably who uses Morse code.
That's got to be more like a hobby nowadays.
Yeah. Haken, I believe is how you say his name, is the guy who takes care of Ellie. He tries to kill a passerby in hopes to harvest some blood for Ellie. I don't really know if this time we're really knowing she's a vampire. I mean, obviously we do because we know what the movie's about.
No, like at that point, they really kind of went out of their way to kind of make it look like maybe he was just a fucking serial killer because he was cleaning his tools right there at the very beginning of the movie and shit. And then packing them up and, heading out and shit. What got me was...
Oh, that's true.
What got me was like, it didn't really look like he traveled all that far. It was like he just kind of went down the street to the park. You know what I mean? Like, it was just kind of weird, that whole like, oh, hey, let me go to the fucking Circle K. There won't be anybody there but one guy.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of like, when it goes sideways, it wasn't really surprising.
Yeah. I forgot, Giz mentioned in the chat that the film was actually set in like the 80s, which still doesn't mean Morse code is still a thing. So, because I don't even think any... You know my opinion on the 80s. Not my opinion, but you know what I say, what happens in the 80s. Morse code was not one of them. So he goes to try to kill a local man, which he does kill the guy. He's like hanging him upside down, but then a dog screws it up. Stupid dog, and the dog's owner, and he's like, I gotta run away, which causes Ellie to have to just kill a random dude so she can feed. Because if old Hakan, or whatever, however the hell you say his name, might as well just call him useless. If he can't do it, then she's got to step in and do it herself, because she's a vampire and she needs that blood. A local man witnesses the murder done by Ellie, but he doesn't want to say anything about it, which is weird because I wrote the guy's name down later on, but I didn't write it down here, so I forgot his name. I think it is I wrote it down. I know I did.
Larry, maybe.
Sure. I don't think that's what it was, but we're just gonna say Larry.
Cat guy. Fucking cat guy.
Cat guy. Where the fuck is his fucking name? I literally wrote it down.
I think for him it was more just shock because he saw, like so many people just are not used to seeing somebody get taken down that violently in front of them and shit.
Yeah. I think his name is Lackey. Is that what you said?
Lackey was the attacker.
He was the friend of the attacker, right? Or
the one
that was attacked. Well, he was the one that witnessed the murder, I believe. So that was a big sidetrack thing. I don't even know why I kept going on about it. But anyway, some dude witnessed the Ellie kill the random guy. So after that, Hakan or however to say his name, is forced to hide the body. I think he puts it like in the under, like buries it under ice or puts it in like the lake or something.
He puts it in the lake.
Yeah,
and it drifts out a little bit.
Yeah, more on that later. Then he fails to attempt to secure blood again. So I think I'm trying to remember how he failed this in the second or this one. I remember in the remake how he failed, but I'm trying to remember.
It was he took the kid into it. Kind of.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I wasn't quite for sure what that was. It was like
almost like a gym or
like a gym locker room. But he had the kid hanging upside down.
His friends came.
Somebody saw through the window that there was somebody in there, and they started beating on the door. And he realized, like, oh fuck, that's the only door out of here. I'm SOL.
Yeah, so he decides to pour acid on his face because that's what you do when you're caught.
Okay, but you got to give it like that. Like they said, though, like we don't know who the fuck he is. We're having trouble identifying him. So that slows down their process of going, oh, well, let's go to his house. Like they're having to figure out who the fuck he is.
Yeah. Ellie learns out about that he's, excuse me, I got the hiccups. Learns that he's at the hospital. So she goes to visit him. And she bites him in the neck because she needs the feed because he failed yet again to get her the blood she needed.
I think that was more of just like putting him out of his misery. I mean, you think about it. She goes in, asks, hey, I'm looking for my dad. Oh, you can't go up there, sweetie. So she jumps up the 3rd, 4th floor, knocks on his window. He comes over and like he knows. It's like, do it. Like he leans out to the window for her. She feeds, and then he just nosedives. Like dead man takes secrets with him and shit.
Yeah, like, and I think she went to like, I don't know, because like obviously with the vampire, she has to be like invited in and all that stuff. So she didn't. I don't think she actually went into the hospital room. She like bit him, like leaned out
because she was like, and he's like. So that's why he looked out the window to
her. So Ellie ends up going back to Oscar's house. They end up becoming a boyfriend and girlfriend. Oh, how cute. Little kids and their young romances. I just said that so I could fill this silence while I turn the page. So then a field trip happens because it's school. And some students discover the body of old boy that got killed in the beginning of the movie. Just floating underneath the ice. Got frozen in the lake. I think they were playing some hockey.
It looked like they were just kind of skating and shit, but it's also
important to point
out that that's also when Oscar stands up to the bullies for the first time.
With his very large stick.
And I don't know where fucker in the ear.
I don't know where he got that stick from, but that was a very big stick.
Yeah, no, like I couldn't figure that out either, dude. Like it wasn't like had one, so
it wasn't like a stick from like a tree branch or something. Right. This was like metal or like plastic. Like it was something that you probably normally don't have on an outdoor environment.
Right,
but he had it
because it drew blood when he cracked the kid, whatever it was.
Yeah. Smacked him right in the side of the head. I think it sliced his ear, or was that the remake and he just got...
No, both. He
they both
took
both. Yeah. So yeah, that's where I was getting there too. So yeah, Oscar stands up to his bullies. Then Oscar ends up finding out that Ellie's a vampire because he wants to make a blood pact with her. So he cuts his finger or his hand or cut something. I think it was his finger or his hand, whatever. It drew blood. It hit the ground. And then she was like, blood. I don't know why I made that noise, but she got all jumped on top of it and drank that blood. And he got all freaked out, as most people probably would. And he went and she ran away because she was all embarrassed, because it's kind of embarrassing, drinking someone's blood off the ground. And she ran away and attempted to kill somebody else. I think her name is... I wrote it down. I wrote a lot. Virginia, the lady, the Lackey or Lachi or whatever the fuck his name is, his girlfriend. She tries to kill her because she needs to feed, because she just had a little bit of taste of blood from old Oscar there, and she needed more. And she attempts to kill Virginia, but is thwarted by Lackey, which is not good for Virginia, because she starts getting weird feelings, weird vampire feelings, not like, PMS or something like that. She was like, she's going to become a vampire, unless that's what PMS is. I don't know.
I really wouldn't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Let us know in the comments if that's what it's like. Pretty sure it's not, but a lot of it looks like a lot of Morse codes going on in the chat.
Yeah.
As I figured, as I said that it was stupid, and now everyone's going to start talking Morse code. They're probably saying I'm a big dum-dum, but it's okay, because I probably am. So Virginia is attacked, and then she's taken back to Lockie's home, and then his cats attack her, because he's a weird cat man. You don't see a lot of cat men. You're always like, oh, that crazy cat lady. But he was the crazy cat man. And his cats attack Virginia, and she's taken to a local medical facility. It's WWE terms. You can't say hospitals. You have to say local medical facilities. Where she bursts into flames.
Well,
eventually, not right away, but eventually.
It's weird because she realized something was fucking wrong. I mean, I think in a weird way she just kind of asked for that, because she asked the nurse to open the window.
Yeah.
And it just seemed very kind of hey, go ahead and give me some sun.
It seemed like it was more accidental in the remake.
Right. I think it definitely... It just seemed like the original, she was a little bit more... it's weird to say, oh, hey, she was quickly on board for, fuck, I'm a vampire, than what normal people would have been. But it just seemed like she kind of knew and was hoping for it, kind of thing.
Yeah. So then Ellie officially tells Oscar that she is a vampire, which he resents kind of at first. It's kind of a little bit of he kind of is standoffish in a way, kind of becomes a dick. She kind of comes, just a little smidge dick. Comes over to the house, and he doesn't invite her in, which I may be completely stupid. I'm not a big vampire movie guy, so I've seen vampire movies, but I haven't seen a lot. But for one of the first times for me witnessing is we kind of see what happens when a vampire goes into a house uninvited. At least from me, like I said, I don't know if that's been really put on screen very much, as I'm looking to the two people that might give me an answer. And nobody's
sorry. It really depends on what you're watching, but it has been brought up. I think Buffy the Vampire Slayer did that shit where they had to be invited in, stuff like that.
Well, I mean, I get that part of it.
And that you could actually recant that welcome to make sure that they couldn't come back in. So I think it's more like, we've talked a lot about lore and stuff like that. It's where it depends on kind of who's writing it.
Right,
to where you see that more.
Yeah, because she's like bleeding from the eyes, and some crazy shit starts going on. And then Oscar's like, "Okay, I invite you in. You can come in. You can come in." And then,
right, and see, and like the other stuff that I've watched, I've never seen like physical pain or anything like that. It was just like fuck, I'm stuck on this side of the door. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool to actually see, like it's like, oh, okay, this is gonna hurt. Fuck it.
And they play some music after that. She takes a shower to get all the blood off, and then Oscar puts some music on, and they have a good old time until the next morning or night. I don't remember what happened, but the lackey guy, he's on the hunt for Ellie because his girlfriend blew up in the hospital, pretty much, and his best friend was killed. So he's got revenge on the mind. So he goes to Ellie's house.
But it was went there though, like because I don't remember him seeing her face when she attacked Virginia. It just seemed like rather dark. So
yeah,
I'd really gotten like a good solid look at her. So it was just kind of a weird lead up to him just going straight booting her door and like walking around and shit.
Unless he may have done some investigative work that they just didn't want to show us for some reason. So, so he looks like he's going to attempt to kill her or do something. So he doesn't really do anything because Oscar interferes and Ellie kills Lackey because she needs food, and she kills the guy, sucks his blood, and then goes breaks his neck like you normally do. So the next morning, Oscar is lured out to resume his school fitness program, which is something we didn't really touch on. He's like during the movie, he's trying to get strong and he's like lifting weights and all this bullshit. Really isn't that important until right now. He goes back to the school. He's lured there by his bullies, which one of them is Connie, who is the older brother of Jimmy, which is the kid that got hit in the side of the head with the stick. He wants revenge for his little brother. Nobody hits his little brother in the side of the head with a giant long stick that we don't know what kind of stick it was. So they lure Oscar to the pool. To the pool. They set a fire, outside to get the teacher attention away from the pool and out of the school. I think they lock the doors on him so he can't get in. And Connie decides that he's gonna give Oscar a little bit of a choice. It's either you stay under the water for 3 minutes or you lose an eyeball. So that happens. So he's holding Oscar under the water, and probably one of the cooler scenes of the movie is that whole like the view of Oscar under the water and then the like demise of everybody in the pool or around the pool as Ellie ends up eventually showing up and just blood and legs and limbs, but you only see it from underwater. You don't see
what's going on above. I thought that was cool as shit.
Oh yeah,
like
the cool
you
scene
just get little
legs, like
right.
You see him almost like he's like flying.
Like you can hear motherfuckers screaming and stuff, but I really dug how they did the visual on that. He's still just like focused, like God, just let me hold my breath, and all of that chaos is going on around him.
Yeah, it was probably one of the best scenes of the movie. The one thing before the scene, like I hadn't seen this movie, watched it for the episode. The one scene that I've seen before on like other like horror related like countdowns or this and that, I've seen that scene quite a few times when referenced about that movie. So, but Oscar ends up surviving because of Ellie, and then randomly he's on a train. I don't remember
it really was at random, but I mean, you look at it. When I left the room, you were the only one in the pool, and when it comes to it's like 50 body pieces scattered around and just you. That motherfucker pretty much had to leave town. There were no options in his future.
And this is another thing that I don't. Obviously, it seems like you guys might be, and obviously you probably can't look at it now, but it seems like you guys are very well in Morse code. But when I was doing a little bit of research at the end, because Ellie is in the little box, the crate that he has in there, they do the little Morse code thing, and from what I read, Ellie taps kiss, and Oscar responds with puss. I was like, what? But that's what, like, I was doing the research and like I was looking it up, and it's like Oscar or Ellie types kiss and Oscar responds puss, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, and then so yeah, so if you guys know if that's what was said,
translation maybe, I don't know.
Tell me, because I kind of want to know. I kind of don't care, but I kind of want to know. It's not really important. So,
I dug the ever living shit out of this movie.
Yeah, it's for me. Like I said, not being a big fan of like vampire movies, it was a little bit of a different like approach to the like much of the young vampire like kids is what I'm trying to get at it. It's not.
Go ahead.
But okay, it's not overly implied till almost maybe I want to say maybe halfway through that. Like I said, that she is or not overly. It's not said that she's a vampire till about halfway through, so we really don't know until pretty much when she kills the first guy, which is probably about halfway through the movie.
Right.
Like I said, with us knowing what the movie's about, we know that she's a vampire, so it's like I knew she was, but for some reason, yeah, he's the guy who's bringing the bodies for some reason. She could be, I don't know.
Well, okay, but like we never saw for sure. We just saw like the bucket of blood, and he kept getting interrupted. We just knew that he was collecting for something.
He could have a blood fetish. It could have all been for him.
No, dude, I think what I really dug was I dug the relationship that they built around the two kids and stuff. Like her willingness to like eat the candy that he had, even though she was like, this is going to make me sick as fuck. She still wanted to do that for him. He still
and it was now relators. Like, who eats now relators?
Like I don't know. Like I really dug the relationship that they built.
It seemed a little. I don't want to say forced, but like it was kind.
I kind of disagree because I mean, you look at it; they're both secluded in their own world. She's not really going out, and the only time he goes out is to get bullied and come back home. I mean, like he was just there was no like happy spot for him to go to until he met her.
Their first interaction was a tad bit weird because she's just like, I can't be friends with you. It's like, I've met you for like 2.3 seconds. Okay. That's why I think I was more going to. It just kind of seemed, at least the early on interactions. That's why I said I didn't want to say forced, but it just was kind of
weird
beginning. But then throughout the movie, they developed into a pretty good, like a really relationship that you believed it. Like that's what I was saying before when we were kind of talking like pre-chat wise. And not to knock any of the actors in the remake or anything, I just thought the acting was a little bit more believable and a lot better in this version than in the remake. They made me believe that they were really connecting, becoming like fast friends.
I kind of liked how they covered, because she invites him in. She's like, oh yeah, if you sell that, it's worth millions of dollars because she's collecting as she kills, stuff like that. Like that explains where they're getting their money to kind of move around. The whole trust thing of she knew it was going to hurt when she walked in the door, but still did it. And when he freaked out and let her in, she's like, dude, I knew you weren't going to hurt me. Like it was just a genuinely well-built bond between the two of them.
So let's go ahead and cut to the trailer so we can move on along to the remake. Not going to be much different from the original because it's pretty damn close. So we shall catch you after the trailer.
vampyr. Hade du tyckt om mig ändå? Vill du bli ihop med mig?
And that was the trailer for 2008's Let the Right One In. I
will say, like, the only thing that really like threw me off was her lack of knowledge about stuff. You know, like he's sitting there playing with a Rubik's Cube and she's just kind of like, what's that? So it's just like a weird lack of knowledge that she seemed to have, considering, you know, we don't know for sure how long she's been around, but we also know that she still goes out. So it's just weird to see that kind of lack of social know.
And the thing that Giz put in the chat, I know you commented on it, but if for everybody else that may not see that, so he doesn't think it said puss, he thinks it said pet, because Ellie's kiss, and then he's pet as is like patting the top of her head. So wherever, I don't know where the thing I was reading, where I got the puss from, but I was just like, well, that's kind of weird that I would say that. But that makes a lot more sense. So let us move on to Let Me In, which there's really not a whole lot to move on to. It's pretty much 95% the same movie.
And for me, like, that 5% is what really kind of fucking tanked it for me.
Yeah.
Because, like, in the original, like, Oscar was obviously bullied. That kid went through some shit on a daily basis. They didn't really sell that as well in the remake. Like, you know, like he's got the mask on and he's talking in front of a mirror. Like, he just kind of came off a little bit more like psychotic. You know, like definitely like, you know, I'm like, oh, so we're just gonna start killing the neighbors. Awesome. Like, it just didn't really seem like he was in the dire strait that Oscar was in the first one or in the original.
Yeah, and something that we didn't touch on in the remake or in the original is the relationship with Oscar, or in the original, it's or no, what's his name in the boy's name? Owen. Yeah, Owen. The relationship between Owen and his father seems a little bit different between the two movies. We actually see his father in the original. In the remake, all there is just a phone call.
Yeah.
He makes that one phone call after, I think, he sees Ellie. I don't know if it's when she drinks his blood after that one scene where they try to do the blood pack, and he like calls his dad. He's like, "Are people really evil?" And like that's
yeah, because that's when he realized what she was.
Yeah. And that's really the only interaction with the father, as opposed to the original, where we see him like a couple of different times.
Like, they really kind of changed the like you said, the parental dynamic, because
he's
got like this odd, like, dude, it was kind of uncomfortable. I thought they were about to like throw the boy into like fucking child labor or sex trade.
I almost thought that, like, when I was first watching the original, I may have like not was fully paying attention when it like first started. I didn't know like Oscar's like living situation. For some reason I thought it was like a shelter or something like that he was living in. Like, I must didn't pay attention the first like 5-10 minutes. But yeah, like it seems like the parent dynamic in the remake was completely wiped away, even with the mom. The mom really wasn't even in there, besides like the scene where, like, I think he like gets, when he picks after he hits the kid in the head, she's like sitting in the principal's office with them. And then like after, like, other than that, there's a scene where she's like laying on the couch sleeping before he walks out to go see Ellie. Like the parent dynamic is a lot different in the remake than the original.
And in the remake, it's more about, mom being mad at dad and constantly bashing on him. Like, it was just so weird. Like, I guess we were just trying to figure out what to do with her. You know what I mean? Like, it was so weird. But also, Ellie's caretaker, dude, he's a fumbling fucking idiot in this one. Like, they just really dumbed him down.
Yeah, he was a bumbling idiot. It was like having Kramer from Seinfeld as your caretaker, spilling blood everywhere.
Like, I really couldn't figure out how the fuck he's lasted this long doing what he did. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you see what Bill put in the chat? Bill said that puss in Swedish is Swedish for kiss.
Oh. Well, okay. So
maybe it should say puss. We're learning things. One thing we never said we weren't is educational.
True.
We're not, but we learn things sometimes. So, but that's going off of what Bill said. He might be just trolling us like he was trolling Johnny, telling him it was Wednesday. So.
I will say the one thing that truly bugged the fuck out of me is how we had to throw CGI into this one.
For Ellie? Yeah.
Just how they had to make her almost kind of ring body movements and shit like that. Like, really, it made both the scenes that they did it in just look shitty.
Because we don't really I watched this one late last week, so it's kind of gone out of my memory. But do we actually see her in any kind of vampire form or anything in the original besides that scene when she comes in uninvited, and that's not really a form. She's just kind of bleeding. And
when she was when old boy had cut his hand for the blood pack and it was dripping on the floor, when she was down on the floor looking up the blood, she kind of sort of changed.
Okay.
But we never, we never saw, like, say, fangs and red eyes or anything like that, but we saw a shaded kind of morph, and then she buffed out.
Yeah. Okay. And I do agree with Bill. He says that if he was trolling, he would have came up with something a little bit better than Puss.
I think they just tried to crank up the horror in this one, and it just didn't really sell it. You know what I mean? Like, especially after seeing the original and her not needing to be all like weird demonic and still take somebody down. So it was weird to see them try to contort her into something in the remake. Yeah,
the only other kind of major difference between the original and remake we'll touch on is the introduction of the cop, who we don't really have, or the detective, who we really don't have in the remake, played by Elias Koteas of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fame. I don't even know if he actually had a name, because when I was reading stuff, it's just the investigator.
Right.
It's okay. I'm not Fred Durst wannabe.
The scene where we lose Virginia to cat. That was fucking retarded, dude. The whole just having the cats completely fucking going at her, just all sorts of crazy ape shit.
Yeah. Trying to think, other than a couple of things, that's pretty much the major differences.
Well, okay, but we open up with the burn victim in the ambulance that we never got around.
Well, I mean, they go back to it, but because it's the guy, the burn victim that's in the ambulance is the caretaker. It's because that's why after that scene, it says 2 weeks earlier.
Oh, okay, I completely.
Because they show that scene, they show him in the bed, they show the detective downstairs and the guy fall down, and then it says 2 weeks earlier. So then it goes in, and then it goes up to that scene again where she comes in, feeds off his neck, and then he falls out of the window. That's the same.
I was completely fucking lost because I'm I looked down for a second. It's back.
Kind of a not necessary way to start the movie. They're we need to be different, even though it's completely the same movie. We need to somehow be different. I know. Let's start with a flashback or fast forward. They tried to go Bill and Ted on us. That's what they kind of did. They tried to go into the future, get to the past, and it was kind of crazy.
And just his the cops you're a cultist, you're Satanist. I'll get every last one of you motherfuckers.
Yeah, it was right. So, do you want to cut to the trailer and then kind of come back and close off the episode? So we'll do that then.
As some of you may have heard, there was an incident last night, and one of your recent graduates here was killed. We need you all to be on the lookout for any suspicious activity.
You guys just moved in, huh? Upstairs? How do you know? Can you hear me through the wall? Only sometimes.
Police and fire investigators are now several hours into their investigation.
Do you think there's such a thing as evil? Help me.
Hello?
You okay?
What are you? I need blood to live.
And that was the trailer for 2010's Let Me In. Pretty much that's what it is. The American adaptation of Let the Right One In. Like, I was talking to the guys when I was talking about doing this, and I'm like, is it considered a remake or is it but I said, screw it, I'm doing it anyway because it's our show and we do what we want.
Well, I mean, like we talked about, I think no matter, The Ring, this, anytime somebody remakes something, it's going to fall under the same category.
Yeah, my just to give an overall opinion on the remake, I just wish they would have done a little bit more different as opposed to being a copy paste of the original.
Right.
The original was a great movie. I don't want to knock the remake because it is the same movie, so it's like there's just no effort put into.
I'll knock the motherfucker because, you say, there's only a 5% difference, but I feel like that 5%'s really just made the fucking movie kind of shitty.
Yeah, some of it may have seemed out of place. It mainly it's pretty much just them. Well, we have to do something different, even though if it's 5%.
Right.
And they're like, let's do this. I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense, but yeah, we got to do it because.
And like I said, dude, I usually dig that Chloe Moretz.
Yeah, she was in the Amityville Horror remake, I believe, from what I was to research from her.
The youngest kid.
She's
she was also in Kick-Ass, Neighbors, shit like that. I think she's a really good actress, but here, dude, this was not her. And I don't know if that's just hey, we want you to be kind of dark and, I don't know if that was just direction, but this was definitely not her best bit.
And like I said, the I don't know if the chemistry just wasn't there between the two kids. I didn't believe it as much as I did with the original, their relationship. It just, like I said, when we do these things, it's always kind of one side complete to the other. It's you either love the remake, despise the original, or vice versa. Here, it's like I said, I love the original. The remake, I just wish they would have done a little bit more different than, like I said, 95% of the original plus deleted scenes or something, whatever you call what they added to it. It just didn't. It wasn't, especially with the 2 years apart. It wasn't necessary. Go fucking watch the original. I mean,
well, but I mean, as far as American films, I don't think we really care about necessarily time. It's one of those oh, hey, look, they did this. Fuck it, we can too.
Yeah,
but we can do it better. No, we can't.
So that closes the books on tonight's episode, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't seen Let the Right One In, go see that one, and then you don't really need to see Let Me In because same movie, and the Let the Right One In is better. go ahead and we'll go ahead with the rest of the week's schedule. Thursday, group chat Thursday is going to be excellent. That's my imitation of a guitar thing, which failed miserably.
No, I think you pulled it off, man. Rockstar.
You are going to witness the future us's review the Bill and Ted trilogy because it's happening in the future. Will there be an appearance of bad robot us's? I don't know. That would be cool. Or good robot us's. Any robot us's would be cool. So join myself and the Carter and the Deadly One and the Giz. Everybody gets at the for that most excellent episode of GoreCast group chat on Thursday. I believe Sunday, Johnny and Giz are going to be doing some screeners, but he will let you guys know more in depth on Thursday. And next week, it will be a special first part of a two-part original versus remake special. We're going to do something a little different. We're going to be looking at It, the miniseries, and the It and It Chapter 2 as the original versus remake. And the way we're going to do that is next Tuesday, we are going to look at the 2017 It versus Part 1 of the It miniseries. And then the following Tuesday, we'll be looking at Part 2 of the miniseries versus the It Chapter 2. I think it was 2019.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I got some bad news for you, though. Telling you right now, there won't be any robot us's. GoreCast does not have the budget for it.
Son of a bitch, I'm working for the wrong people.
So I'm just letting you know, dude.
God damn it. I'm going.
You may not like it. You may not like it here, but I like it here. So
be finding myself with the freaking Cody Rhodes of the. No, I'm not, because fuck AEW. So if you guys see the GoreCast has parted ways, and we wish Buzz at his future the best. You know why? If you don't see me next week or Thursday, but yeah. So no robot us's. Oh darn! But we get a double, a special 2-week It original versus remake extravaganza. Big word. I always leave the big words. So that should be fun. Should be interesting. I think that might be it. Any other chat saying anything hateful towards me? Actually, I can see the chat this time. Ooh. Okay. I think that's about
we need to do War of the Worlds. That's about the last thing that kind of came through. Then we went Robot Chicken.
War of the Worlds. I like that.
So
why didn't maybe because it's more sci-fi, so it probably didn't hop up on my list when I was looking for it. So yeah, I'm all for it. Yeah, I'm all for it. I just, like I said, I can't read that. I'll have to wait till I can. I have like a really small phone, and it's all fuck it. I don't care. Yeah, War of the Worlds. That might be a nice future episode. I'm all down with that. And if you're not down with us, we got 2 words for you. Goodbye. That's one.